How do you feel about pedophilia?
A while ago I made 2 videos on Lolicon, and I really just like my approach to both as I tried to place an objective point on a subjective subject, because at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about Lolicon as well as most genres of drawn off-brand is entirely perspective based. So instead I'm going to be doing what Rev is incapable of doing and attempt to understand where both sides are coming from in a completely neutral stance. I ain't got no motive, no agenda, I've given up on being a YouTuber years ago, so there's not really much I care to gain. I'm just a nigga with a microphone. Also, piggybacking off of my other video, not liking something or expressing disapproval of a thing doesn't make you an anti or a tourist. It just makes you a person with an opinion. Nothing and no one is above criticism, praise, and mockery. It only gets bad when it goes beyond simple words on the internet. If you unironically use the word anti and tourist or carry a picket sign at a convention, for the love of God, please grow the hell up. In this context, I'm defining Lolicon as a genre of fictional media which focuses on young or young-looking girl characters, particularly in a sexual or suggestive or erotic manner. The criteria of what I'm defining as loli characters are characters like Anya and Kana, and not characters like Rebecca or Hestia. I will also be clear that I'm only referring to depictions where characters are clearly meant to represent kids. I'm saying this to avoid the body type debate, as is commonly used to redirect the actual topic, which is the ethics of people who get off to Lolicon. One perspective is that it's fictional and it's okay because it has no basis in reality, which is a true and valid perspective, because at the end of the day it just boils down to you beating off to a cartoon. Like, yeah, it's weird, but it's definitely not something you should crash a plane over. But the problem is that when normal people criticize it and not some Twitter warrior, it's not coming from the basis of it being real. The criticism lies within the subject of your attraction presented in the drawing, and how people will judge your character based on that. Take Goro for example. If I call someone who beats off to Goro a psychopath, would you understand my reasoning? Or better yet, would you let someone who's into loli babysit your kid? And if you said no, do you understand the reasoning of why you would say no? Now, I don't support the idea of calling lolicons pedos, but you have to be completely brain dead to not understand how and why someone would come to that conclusion. But it's also equally understandable to see why people wouldn't see anything wrong with it, because at the end of the day, it's just a well-drawn cartoon, and how you feel about it is based on your own personal judgment and criticisms. A thing that's not talked about much is the concept of accountability and social awareness, because remember, your actions and interests can and will affect how people will perceive you, and let alone will treat you. Yes, in a perfect world, everyone should live and let live, but we don't live in a perfect world. And the downside of free speech is that everyone's allowed to express an opinion, and everyone's allowed to comment on each other's opinion, and nothing and no one is above criticism, praise, and mockery. Hell, even furries have more self-awareness than most of the internet, because it's literally a meme in that community that the first 5 DMs you're gonna get are messages telling you to KYS, but you think you're some type of special snowflake when someone insults your cartoons. Like, bro, if you don't just...
Hey, I'm just saying, if you come to America in that outfit, I'm literally gonna fuck